Hi, welcome back. We have Jim Fry, who's here on behalf of Emeritus, who's going to tell us a little bit about estate planning and legacy planning, right?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about your background in this particular area.
My background has been predominantly in this community. I came here 34 years ago and started doing the gift and estate planning for Saddleback Hospital.
Okay.
And then for the last 23 years, I've been doing the same type of work for Mission Hospital.
Right.
And in the last couple of years, I've been working with Saddleback College with the Emeritus program, talking about essentially the same elements of gift and estate planning.
Right, right. So you went from Saddleback Hospital to Mission Hospital and now Emeritus. So you've got a lot of experience in this estate planning.
I would think so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what is it that estate planning really is when it's in regards to hospitals and other organizations?
I even take the organizations out because estate planning is essentially, I like to sit down with people and say, okay, you're here. Where would you like to be? Most people don't even think about it, let alone have a discussion. And it isn't a matter of saying, oh, I think I need a will, I think I need a trust, I think I need this. No, I want to know what goes where. Children, not the children. One child is very, very well off, the other. So I don't go into all of the particulars. I want to hear what they're planning to do. And when they say, I'm thinking about doing this, I say, well, gee, that's interesting. I'm like a travel advisor, okay? Oh, you want to go here, and you're thinking about taking this route. Oh, are you familiar with that? They have boulders over here. Oh, I didn't know that. It's the same thing with estate planning. And most people don't take the time to navigate. I don't tell people where to go. I just say, okay, if you want to go here, here's several different paths.
Right.
Pick the one that you like the best.
Right. So now you're dealing with individuals then?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So how have you applied your estate planning to your background with both the hospitals at this point?
Well, there's an element of philanthropy that involves estate planning. And so some people don't even know that they could create something in their estate for charity.
Okay.
Regardless of the organization, whether it's a hospital, whether it's a college, or whether it's a social agency. Okay. Part of what I do is to explain to people that there are opportunities that you can do these things. And many times people say, well, gee, no, I'm leaving everything to the children.
Right.
And I'll say, well, what if there's a way where you could take care of the children, not cut them out, and also do something for your favorite charity or charities?
Okay.
And most people will say, I didn't know I could do that.
Right.
So there again, we open the door to conversation where their plan of estate planning would include in some way philanthropy.
Okay.
If they have a passion.
Right.
If they don't have a passion for Emeritus, for a college or anything, they're not going to go that route.
Right, right. But that's a nice thing. At least you're able to let them know that that is an option.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So that's kind of what the class is all about, is you talk about how they can do this particular type of charity donations,
well,
right?
we include it as part of the total because when you're talking about estate planning, there are trusts, and trust can be very complicated. A lot of people don't understand the whys and wherefores, property ownership, and so there's a lot of segments. And typically, in a 2 or 3 hour presentation, you can only hit the surface items.
Right.
And so estate planning, when you get to the actual putting it into a practice, that's where you need to meet with an attorney, some advisors, so that the map that we have kind of laid out, you can put it into actuality.
What would you say is some of the most difficult things for people to plan when they are doing estate planning?
First, to come to grips with their mortality.
Right.
I joke about it because I'm 72, my parents died very, very young. I didn't think I'd make it past 60. And so I take every day as a gift, and I realized that at one day. But the thing is that prepare for it. My goodness. And most people will say, oh, gee, I'm not ready to die. I said, don't be ready to, but think about the fact that it will happen.
Right.
And what the horrible, and I've seen, and many of your viewers situations where they've seen friends, relatives where there wasn't a plan,
right.
or the plan was old and there were holes in it.
Right.
And it created more problems with the family, with the surviving family.
Right.
If I can help people avoid that, then I think that's I've done my job.
You know, something that you just said sort of reminds me that, you know, there has to be a time frame, like that you should be thinking about doing this. Is there a particular age or at a particular status in your life that you should be thinking about this?
Obviously, if there are children involved, it's immediate. I don't care the size of your estate. A lot of people say, well, I don't have an estate. And I argue with them, yes, you do. If you own a house, if you have stocks, bonds, or whatever the case may be, you have an estate. Right. Something will be distributed, whether you own it or whether your trust owns it, because now it becomes a matter of ownership.
Right.
But the fact is that we all have something,
right.
and it has to be distributed. And the question is, how much do you want to control that?
Exactly. And what happens if you don't have anything and you die?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, and that's where people need to know, well, gee, I'm set up, I'm okay this way. I've left everything to my son, daughter in joint ownership. And I said, well, gee, there's some potential problems there.
Right.
Have you ever considered? And again, it's a matter of question and answer. So to be able to, like I say, put them on the right track so that they can make a choice based upon informed decisions. Now, the interesting thing is that there's many charitable planning tools that are extremely beneficial to both the individual, the family, and to charity.
Right.
And so there again, part of the discussion is, well, how does that work?
Right. And your classes will cover that, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about the classes themselves. It's an estate planning course.
Right.
And how often do you teach it?
Well, right now we're doing these things on a basis where we try to schedule them like about we're in the process right now of scheduling the next one.
Okay.
So the Emeritus program is working towards having a whole program, but there's a lot involved. The
Right.
process of being approved through the college takes about 1.5 years, 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So in the interim, we're working with them so that maybe once a quarter, we have a session.
Okay.
And we talk about these things.
Well, excellent. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure that everyone will be looking forward to getting a hold of that class, taking it, and learning about estate planning.
I hope so, because like I say, I have this knowledge. It's a joy to be able to share it, and I invite people to, if they're interested,
Right.
call the Emeritus and say, I want to talk to the tall guy with the white hair.
All right, very good. Thank you so much. It was
My
nice
pleasure,
to meet you.
and thank you.
All right. All right, so if you guys need estate planning, you can contact the Emeritus and check out Jim Fry's class. We'll be right back after this.